Hey, Andy from UBCO here. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to use the UBCO Riders app and walk through how to change some of the bike settings. This is your home screen. At the top, you have your account settings. Here you can set the units to metric or imperial and choose whether or not you want your phone to automatically connect to the bike. This button is where you access your bike settings. To do this, you need to be on or near your bike with the bike switched on. The app is pretty self-explanatory, so I just want to point out a few helpful tips. This is your bike's power output. You can select Eco, Normal, or Max. The mode you select will affect how the power is delivered to the motors. This will affect the acceleration and feel of the throttle, but won't affect the top speed. So if you select Max, you'll get the highest amount of power and throttle sensitivity for rapid acceleration, but you'll also drain the battery faster. You can tap this question mark whenever you see it, and it will provide further explanation. So you'll see here it tells you that Eco mode conserves energy by limiting and optimizing the power delivered to the motors. If you own a Hunt Edition model, you will also have Boost mode. This increases the top speed to 40 miles per hour. If you choose Boost mode, just be aware that riding at full throttle in Boost mode over prolonged periods will reduce range and power and increase motor temperature. You can also control the amount of regenerative braking. Regenerative braking uses the motors to decelerate your bike, which in turn recharges your battery. The regen kicks in when you coast off throttle and when you use the brakes. If you select Max Regen, this will provide the highest level of regen. This will increase range and decrease wear on your brake pads. You'll feel the regen kick in when you come off throttle though. If you prefer to coast off throttle, toggle the setting to suit. Test out some different combinations of power output and regenerative braking. I like to have it in Eco mode and Max Regen around town to maximize my range. Off-road I prefer normal power output to maximize front wheel control and traction, and high regen to assist on hill descents and extend range. Learner mode is a handy feature for new riders if they're not confident or when conditions warrant a lower speed. The learner mode limits the maximum speed to 30 km an hour or 19 miles per hour and switches the power to Eco and brake regen to high. You'll see any alerts listed here. If the alert code starts with a C, that means it's cautionary and won't stop the bike from operating. This could be things like a fault with a turn signal. You'll still want to deal with it, but it won't stop the bike from working. If the alert starts with a F, that means a fault. This may require urgent attention from an UBCO authorized dealer or service agent. Your bike will collect caution and fault codes over time. Before calling UBCO, clear the alerts and operate the bike again. If the fault stays, this is when service or support is required. Another tip for understanding alert codes is the first digit. If it's a 1, the caution or fault relates to the front of the bike. If it's a 2, that's something to do with the back of the bike. You can learn about the codes and go through some simple troubleshooting from this screen too, by clicking these buttons. The last thing I want to bring your attention to on the settings is firmware. Click here and you'll see any firmware updates that your bike requires. It's a good idea to check this from time to time, but if you're getting your bike regularly serviced, this is part of the process. Back to the home screen. Anytime you have a question about your bike, you can use this section to access rider resources or our help center or get in touch with us. The garage feature is useful for those who own multiple bikes. You can tap in here and access any of your bikes. And lastly, this is your live dash. This is useful if you have a work bike model that doesn't have an onboard dash. That's a quick overview. Have a play with the app yourself and test out some of the different settings to find out what works best for you. Happy riding!